We are going to cover all the leaks for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl right now. Hello everybody, Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. So yeah, if you've been following us for the past couple days, you will know there has been an absolute ton of leaks for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. We have everything from gameplay footage to different kind of features that we know now exist. It's just been a ton of stuff that's been provided by people who got their hands on the games early. Now there's been so much released and so much even added as of today that we're making this video to cover literally everything you need to know about all the leaks up to this point. Now, there is some unconfirmed stuff going out of the time that I'm recording this video, and obviously once that gets confirmed as a genuine leak, we will cover that in a future video. So quick disclaimer, these are going to have some major spoilers here, so obviously if you don't want to find out what's in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, please go ahead, you can click off now. I give you the official Bridge4 permission to go to a different video or something, but if you don't mind, buckle your seatbelts because there's a lot we got to cover. So before we go ahead and jump in, let me just take a second to ask that if you like the videos we have here on the channel, please make sure that you actually like them by hitting the thumbs up button. And again, consider subscribing to the channel to make sure that you never miss any awesome videos like this one. All right, so first off, let's get to the easy part here. So we have the current state of the leaks. And this is the gentleman, Pokemaster, who was leaking everything, who has taken down all his videos and his Instagram. So, the current state of the leaks are there aren't any at the moment. He's not posting anything publicly like he was. He's been basically kind of like tweeting and DMing things to different people who can disseminate the information. But as of right now, again, yeah, we don't have anything concrete anymore. So the current state of the leaks are that things are a little dicey at the moment. Now, I talk about some controversy here. So the reason I'm bringing this up is that some of the things we have seen are kind of making some people really unhappy about these games. And, yes, you can say it's always been that way. Like Alola had kind of wonky graphics and the Z moves people didn't like. Sword and Shield, obviously that tree thing. And, obviously some of the graphics there as well and the National Dex issue. But I think this goes a little further and we're going to cover kind of what we're talking about here. So jumping into what I mean by new content. So this is from Central Leaks. Now, I do want to preface this. I know a lot of people don't like Central Leaks. I get it. Central Leaks likes to take other people's information and pass it off as their own. I understand that. I realize that, in terms of what they do, it's not good. It's not fair. The only thing they do provide, though, is putting together everything from other sources in a very easy to, get through, kind of easy to read through way. So even though I realize these leaks do not come from Central Leaks, they are kind of collating it all together so we can disseminate it and get through it really easily. So because of that, we are using them for this purpose. So that being said, everybody, the summary. There are no new forms, no new megas, no new moves, no new characters, no new events, or anything really new so far. So when they said these games are faithful remakes to Diamond and Pearl, they meant it. These are, up to right now, they are one-for-one remakes with a couple exceptions, which we're going to touch down in the video below in some of the later topics. But as of right now, in terms of like enhanced versions like Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, or even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there's no real development on what we had before. It is literally the same script, same, basically everything in the game is the same, just put on the Switch now with, more chibi art. As you can see, also, we talk about it looks like there really is just the Diamond and Pearl decks, not the Platinum decks. So a lot of the mons that were in the Platinum decks before are not going to be included in the remakes, at least at the time of the game starting. Now, we do know there is some degree of a post-game here, but we don't know exactly what is going to be in that. So it's very likely there may be a National Dex in there where you can get more Pokemon, but as of right now, again, we just don't know. All we know is that at launch, when you pick up the games and get started, all you have is the Diamond and Pearl Pokedex. So the second thing that a lot of people are saying is that the game is unfinished. Now, we know the games require a day one update at launch to make them playable. So it's going to be a patch that apparently is covering kind of a lot of issues that people are finding in these games. So what do I mean by that? Well, Central Leaks, again, is reporting that a lot of people are saying it's the MIDI music, that's in there, not like the final soundtrack that we heard in some of the newer trailers. I couldn't really tell. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been watching 90% of this stuff without the audio on because in one of them, the guy has like his cat, freaking out or something in the background. So I basically had the audio off the entire time. So I cannot weigh in on this one. And I think it's also a bit subjective, quite frankly. But A Drive said he couldn't tell anything when he did his coverage of it. So I don't know. That being said, a lot of people do believe the patch is going to fix that. The other problem is there are multiple visual glitches in the game that they say here are probably going to be patched. I'm not as optimistic. There's a part where Cyrus just doesn't throw a Pokeball and his Pokemon just appears. There's also a part, I think, where you're with Barry and it's like a doubles battle and the other guys don't have Pokeballs in their hand, but they're still like gesturing like they're holding it. So, you know, it is what it is. But I don't know about that. But a lot of people believe this kind of makes the games not finished, like still kind of a work in progress. So something to keep in mind. Let's hop into the freezing glitch. Eclipse found this one out when he was kind of poking around in the games, or at least from what other people had posted. Apparently, there's actually a glitch in the game right now that can freeze the entire game up and you have to reset it. So it's very likely that the update we're going to get on day one is regarding this and is going to fix that. But again, we don't know. I'm hoping that fixes that. Kind of like, if you guys remember back to X and Y, there was a glitch where if you saved in Lumio City, I believe, you would start losing mons out of your decks or something like that. So I really hope that's not, the case. But, if it is, it would not be great. But obviously, if they do manage to patch that and get it fixed, that's good to know. I just don't want anybody, suffering at all due to these kind of issues happening. All right, so now that a lot of that stuff is out of the way, kind of the disclaimers and things like that, kind of the more broad, general kind of concepts, let's jump in and talk about the actual information that we have provided as far as in-game, kind of the Pokemon that you're going to see, the trainers you're going to see, that kind of stuff. So let's talk about the trainers. So right here, as we said, we know there's no Megas. There are no, new forms, whatever. But all of the trainer teams that you're going to see, so all the, random route trainers, all the gym leaders, all the Elite Four, Cynthia, Barry, all of those battles are going to be the exact same as Diamond and Pearl. They are not going to be the Platinum ones. The levels are the same as well. Now, this is interesting because, again, tying into the very faithful remakes, it makes sense that they would keep all that the same. However, this does cause a pretty major problem, which I'm going to touch on in a minute in another one of the features we have here. So the puzzles are based on Diamond and Pearl as well. No Platinum exclusive characters. The one saving grace, though, is that movesets have changed. So by that we mean, obviously we have the introduction of fairy typing into the game. That is the one significant change over Diamond and Pearl. So we know that exists and that is going to play a role. However, do keep in mind that, they also have updated a lot of their movesets to be somewhat more, actually challenging. So one, for example, the steel type leader, Byron, I believe his name is, he is using, I believe, a Bronzong, and the Bronzong is going to actually use Trick Room and then bring out Bastiodon to, be a Trick Room attacker. So that's an actual competitive strategy that a lot of people may use. So, it's something to at least consider that they're trying to make these, Pokemon trainers a little more realistic as far as the strategies they may employ. That being said, again, a lot of it is still going to be very similar to the way it was in, Gen 4 originally, but again, there is some degree of improvement, even though it's pretty minuscule. Also, really quick, talking about the moves here. So we have the original HMs are now TMs that you can use for attacking and stuff. You do have the Poke Ride, or whatever they call it now, to be able to summon Pokemon to surf or fly or climb up rocks or whatever. That's all taken care of in game now by that feature, but the moves are still available if you want to use them for attacking. All right, so next up, the other thing I want to touch on, the one area where they also made an improvement is with the idle animations of Pokemon. So as we can see here, the idle animations when the Pokemon are not doing anything in the decks, it seems that some of their animations have been updated to match their sprites from Gen 4. So Bibarel is usually just seen kind of standing there in the picture below. However, in this one, he's kind of sitting upright, kind of looking at you and kind of interacting with you that way. Murkrow is another really big one. We had talked about this in the video, I believe, yesterday. But Murkrow is a Pokemon that typically will just sit there and kind of bob its head back and forth. However, in the Pokedex, when you look at Murkrow, it's actually in flight. It's flapping its wings and flying, which is... It's really cool because you don't see that aspect of Murkrow all that often. And Murkrow is a neat Pokemon, So being able to actually have those updates is pretty nice. Then we have the game map revealed. So, talking about that real quick. So yeah, as we covered here, the entire game map has been revealed through the leaker. And I was able to keep my picture here, so even though he took it down, I still have mine. And obviously, yeah, when I was talking about this yesterday, the area up there in clouds, I know that is something to do with the post game. I don't know exactly what's in there. I know that it's the home of the battle tower, etc. But I didn't know what else was there, and it looks like they're trying to cover it up or keep it mysterious for whatever reason. So because of that, that's what I meant when I said I didn't know quite what was in there. I did play Gen 4 originally, guys, also in case you were thinking that I didn't. I played Diamond and Pearl back in college, and I played actually Pokemon Platinum a couple years ago. So that being said, this is the map. A lot of it looks pretty similar. The same general areas are in the same place. But I do have two bad pieces of info. So one, there is no distortion world in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So a lot of people were looking forward to that because the distortion world is one of the most, recognizable and cool parts of Pokemon Platinum. We don't have it. However, we do have a small room where you can actually go into and catch Giratina that's kind of inspired by the distortion world. It's really tiny and it's not a maze, but apparently it looks incredible. So I don't know what that means. I don't know quite what we're looking at here. But if you wanted a maze, if you wanted a puzzle, you're not getting that. But if you wanted something that just looks really cool, and you can go catch Giratina, no muss, no fuss, that we have for you, and that you'd be able to get no problem. And also, a lot of people were hoping for a Battle Frontier. Don't have a Battle Frontier. All we have is a Battle Tower where you can go in and face different trainers in a row with various degrees of, skilled teams. So that stinks. I'm not thrilled about that. Obviously, Battle Frontier has been the dream of everybody, especially after Pokemon kind of like trolling everybody with that in ORAS, but it is what it is. We're probably not going to get it, but we do have Battle Tower, which, kind of serves its purpose. And there may be some other post-game things, in there as well. So, all right. Next up, we need to talk about some sound changes that were made in the game or some sound features that are included. So we have fainting cries. So the cool thing here is Pokemon cries have changed. So now this actually comes from Pokemon and Me, I believe. And the cries are now different when they're fainting. They're not their normal cries. They sound a little more sad or something like that. So that's kind of cool just to see a little bit of things changing there. In addition, guys, a couple other notes I made here, just they're kind of in the sound category here. So you can play on your badges musical notes when you touch them, and your badges can also get dirty. So the notes will become like flat or sound off. You have to clean them, then you can hit them in a row and get the proper notes, and you can hear pretty much an 8-note scale by tapping your badges in your badge, viewing screen. So that's a really cool, neat little feature. A lot of people were really happy that they brought that back, and it's a good little touch to see that again. And I'm happy it's there. That being said, also, I'm just going to make a note of it while I'm here. You can customize the dialogue window border, like in the original game, so you can have a couple different, trims or whatever around your, dialogue in game. You can change that in the settings, where you can also change things to like set and switch and all that. But this is not earth-shattering news, but it's something that, if people were really nostalgic about it back in Gen 4's Diamond and Pearl, they have the option of doing that again, which is obviously good. They haven't added much, but the fact they didn't take that away is a good thing. And then next up, we got to talk about the big one here, following Pokemon. So we know following Pokemon are back, right? But they come with a good thing and a bad thing. So let's talk about that. So as you can see here, just like back in the original Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, your Pokemon will follow you if you want them to. And it also looks like, based on some early game screenshots, you can have more than one Pokemon following you. You can have your entire team following you, it looks like, in a nice little like duckling row. That being said, though, if your Pokemon are following you, their friendship is going to increase rapidly. So it's kind of going to be like, Pikachu in like, Let's Go Pikachu, or in the original Pokemon Yellow, or even in some of the more recent games. But as your Pokemon are following you, their friendship is going to increase dramatically. So they're going to become much more friendly to you, and they're going to start, loving you and being your best friend. The problem is this kind of makes things a bit of an easy mode instead of having them be sort of the normal difficulty. Now, what am I talking about? Well, if you guys remember back in some of the more new games, when your Pokemon have like their maximum friendship to you, when they go to attack, there's a 25% chance that they'll take an attack that would make them faint. So, when you took a big hit, occasionally that would like survive at one and say that it didn't want to watch you cry or something like that. There's a 25% chance your Pokemon's just not going to die when it would otherwise be KO'd. There's a 20% chance of it just losing a status condition. So like sleep paralysis, something like that, just gone. 1 in 5 chance at the end of every turn. 10% chance to just dodge an attack, which is already pretty good because like you can. Pokemon attacks are like Stormtrooper attacks 90% of the time anyways. They miss it here and there all the time. And having the chance to increase that by 10% is just busted. You have a double chance of crits. I mean, come on. And you have a 1.2 experience times boost. So the reason that's busted, and the reason I said that it was bad that the other, trainers are going to be at the same levels, you have experience share on in this game that you can't turn off, which, whatever. It's just kind of the way things are these days. I get it. But it means that your Pokemon are going to level up like no problem. They're going to just start firing up to their higher level stages really quickly because you're sharing that experience all around the team. That being said, now that you have a 1.2x times, experience boost, that makes it even more extreme. So the reason I don't like this, I feel like if people want this to just make their teams really, really strong, really, really fast, they're able to do that, which is great. You can do that all you want. That's nothing wrong with that. The problem is, if people don't want to use that, they're effectively penalized from having the walking behind Pokemon feature, because that's a feature I love. It makes the games feel a lot more organic. It makes them feel real, like the Pokemon's really with you. And I don't like that if people don't want the experience boost and they want to make their playthrough harder or, a real challenge for them, they can't really use the, following Pokemon feature because it's going to make that challenge pretty much go away for them. So, it's something I am not crazy about, but I know it's not the end of the world for a lot of people, but something to keep in mind. If you do want to have a challenge in your playthrough of Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you're going to really want to make sure that you leave those Pokemon in their Pokeballs so you don't get that 1.2 times boost. Now, the last thing I kind of wanted to touch here was Pokeball Customization. Now, we talked about this before, again, in an earlier leak, but as we can see on your main menu, which I have right here, you do have an option, as we see, to customize your Pokeball under the thing that says Ball Capsules. So as you can see here with the Togepi image below, you can put stickers all over your Pokeball. They used to be kind of like the seals. Now they're just straight up stickers. And what they do is they can create special release animations when you send your Pokemon out of the Pokeball. In the case of Togepi here, they went for confetti, but they did have for dark Pokemon like dark orbs or like smoke, stuff like that. So really, really cool. Again, for me, I like making sure that all my legendaries are in complementary Pokeballs, Reshiram and Premier Balls. I put Kyogre in like Lure Balls. So for me, I really dig this feature. I think it's really cool. I know there's a lot of people who could not care less. But, obviously, it is what it is. I think it's cool. But, if you don't like it, you don't have to use it. But I think it's really neat. And it's a good touch for these games. Obviously, they're a little light on new content. But having this as a feature is pretty cool. So, all right. That is pretty much all the leaks we have right now going forward. Now, we do know that Pal Park is in the game, so there's going to be a lot of coverage there. We also know that in your bases you have, there's going to be some degree of being able to manipulate that for the underground for things like shiny hunting potentially, which is something we really need to cover. So right now we don't know much about all the legendaries in the game. We don't know about any potential mythicals or anything like that. We haven't really had the leaker dive into the underground too much. All we've really seen is like the base playthrough from getting your Pokemon to becoming Pokemon champion and all the normal battles you face along the way. So we don't know everything. We do know a bit. We know a pretty good amount based on what we're seeing here, but we don't have all the answers yet, and that's just going to be coming in the next couple days. But I did want to make this, I want to make this sort of like landmark video so we can cover all the posts and all the leaks that came over the weekend. Today is Monday, the 8th of November, 2021. In case you're watching this way in the future, but yeah, I just want to make sure you guys knew everything that's been said and leaked up to now, because a lot of it's getting taken down and things like that. And I want to make sure that everybody can, look back at this and see everything that is in the game and what is not in the game, and they can make an informed decision about buying the games or not buying them. So that being said, everybody, I hope you found this video helpful. Obviously, if you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments below and let me know what you're thinking. How do you feel about these games? Are you happy that they're a one-for-one remake? Are you not happy that they didn't have more content? Let me know what you think. Let me know how you're feeling about it. Again, drop those in the comments below. And again, if you did like this video, please make sure that you actually like it by hitting the thumbs up button. And again, consider subscribing to the channel to become part of our amazing Pokemon community. You guys have given us so many awesome views, so many awesome subscriptions and likes over the last couple weeks that we cannot thank you enough. And we are so thrilled to have all of you be part of our amazing, amazing Pokemon crew. That being said, everybody, I've been Blaine from Bridge4 Games. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all have an epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye!